America has become completely unaffordable, and I don't know why more people are not talking about this. Half of America doesn't even have a savings, rent is insane, healthcare is a luxury, and somehow the narrative is still people are just bad with money. Like, what money? People are working full-time. Most people have 2 to 3 jobs anymore because you have to. At what point do we stop blaming the people and just accept the fact that the cost of living has simply just outpaced reality?
She's right. It's not that people aren't working or they're not working hard. It's that prices have skyrocketed in latest years. Working 2 or 3 jobs used to get you ahead, and now it barely keeps you afloat. And that's because the cost of living is going up faster than income ever has. You used to be able to save and invest and actually enjoy your money, book a vacation, enjoy an extra night out. But that is not the reality for majority of Americans right now. The money, the extra shifts, the extra money are all going towards the necessities and basic costs of living. This graph here, which I created, is sourced from the Lending Club. This graph shows that 53 to 67% of Americans are self-reporting that they are living paycheck to paycheck. This is not at all random, and you are not alone, and you are not crazy.
In case you don't realize just how bad the economy is, no one is buying anything anymore. Oh wait, sorry, not no one. Actually, half of all consumer spending for the first time in history is just the top 10% of American households. You know what that means? Our economy is literally held up by wealthy people because they are the only people who can afford to buy shit. And by the way, this doesn't mean that wealthy people are so amazing because they're helping our economy grow. No, why do you think they're the only people that can afford anything? Don't even get me started on the ultra wealthy people, because get this, since the 1980s, billionaires' wealth has grown by 4,500%, while wages only grew by 15%. And while workers' wages only grew 15%, rent went up 400%. College tuition went up 1,200%. Groceries went up 300%. So who's benefiting here? And here's a hint, it's probably not you. It's probably not your family. It's probably not your friends. So why are you defending them so hard?
I don't want to hear shit about young people or just not working hard enough. Come on. When I was 18, I had a 2-bedroom apartment in a complex with a pool for $450 a month. There was another place downtown where you could get apartments. They were in the hood, but still you could get an apartment $150 a month. When I moved to rural Georgia, I was renting a 2-bedroom house for $325 a month. They didn't check my credit. They gave me the keys the day that they met me. When I moved to San Francisco, California in 1992, you could get a studio apartment for $450 a month. That meant 2 people could put together their welfare checks and get an apartment. One would live in the closet and one would live in the living room.
Someone said, we are no longer a paycheck away from homelessness. We are one sick day away from homelessness. And that is so true.
Part of why I share car living content is because I think within capitalism, there's a lot of fear mongering around the idea of losing your home, ending up homeless. I watched a young woman on here today that has 3 jobs, came home to an eviction notice on her door. She said in the post that she feels like she doesn't even want to live anymore. Like, what is the point? If my entire life is working 3 jobs just to afford a roof over my head, that is not living. Like, what am I doing here? And I know a lot of people feel this. It's like, what is the point of this? If we're not living, we're just working to have a place to sleep at night, and she can't even do that. Share this to let people know that this is an option. This shouldn't be an option, but because we exist under the system that we do, and with the way things are going, I think more people are going to choose alternative living situations. This is something that can be done with a lot of dignity and fun and adventure, and it doesn't have to be something that is feared.
Sky is blue and grass is green. Why are Americans not getting any money back for the tariffs? Because the administration today started to pay the companies back for their tariffs through this online portal. Great. But the companies were already making their money because we were paying for it. So when are we going to get our money back? And why are we not the first people to get our money back? They were not lacking. They had money because we had to pay it.
So on this side, costs go down, but prices stay the same, which means companies are making more profit. This is called margin expansion. And on this side, this explains what people called greedflation, where companies keep prices high even after their costs drop. So the gap between cost and price gets bigger, and that's where the extra profit for these companies come in. That's why it doesn't feel like prices came down after the pandemic, and they did not.
This is about to get real ugly. The cost of living wants to kill the living. Americans are pulling out of their 401k at an alarming rate. Wait, people actually have retirement funds? Oh, this is all part of the plan. Inflation is kicking people's behinds out here. More Americans are tapping into their 401k plans because the cost of living is outrageous. Some people are only using the funds just to pay bills, not even for emergencies. And more Americans are living off credit cards due to the economy. America's record of credit card debt has gone up to $1 trillion. Monthly mortgages are up 20% from last year. And oil and food prices are rising. But will the government bail out citizens like they do big corporations and banks?
This is where understanding and awareness are so important right now, because once you see what's actually happening, you can react strategically. The biggest pressure right now isn't just small spending. It's fixed and bigger costs like rent, car payments, and insurance. And when those go up, they affect your entire income. So managing and being aware of affordable alternatives right now is vital.